Hello, ladies. Today is Monday, August 15th, and I'm so excited that you all have hopped on. Before I turn it over to Audrey, who I'm excited that she's going to be sharing with us today some of her wisdom with everything she's done with her amazing business and family. I want to first start off by welcoming some of you that are here on the call today for the first time. We have here Mary. She's here with us for the first time. Welcome. And we also have Maria. Oh, Carmen. It says Maria on her screen, but Carmen, she's one of my newest coaches. So super duper welcome, and we're super excited that you're here with us. So two quick reminders that I have in mind is please, please, please look up the information on the health bet. Very important that we participate. My advice, and I was kind of sort of reading about this, and I got the idea from another team. There are people partnering up to make this funner and stuff like that. Look up the information. Partner up with either your success partner or people in your downline leaders. Please spearhead a group or something like that. And just encourage your teams, encourage your coaches to participate. It's going to be something great. Even if somebody kind of mentioned to me that they think that it might just be like $30 a pop or less. I'm like, who cares? That's awesome. It's a tank of gas. Like another person told me that they're like, $30 is $30. This is a tank of gas. I'm like, yeah, especially for those that are doing it as challengers and they can see the potential in what Beachbody's doing, just giving back. So I think it's great that they're doing this. And then second, of course, we have our sneak peek on Thursday. So after this call sometime, I would say around 11, I promise you it's on my to-do list. I will be creating an event calendar and I will be sharing it in our builders chat box and of course our team page. So make sure that you invite your people. And I will also be recording a video that I feel that you guys may need some guidance when it comes to the sneak peek. So tomorrow, sometime during the afternoon, expect a video, a YouTube with just some minor training and guidance at the sneak peek, so it can become more effective for you. So other than that, I'm going to go ahead and just brag a little bit, if you don't mind, Audrey, about our caller for today, because number one, she's super awesome. She is, I love following her. I love following her morning devos, video devos that she does. But if you ask who Audrey is, for those that don't know her, she is a wife, she's a mom, she's a girl boss, #girl boss, and very strong one too. She is a 2-time elite coach, very successful in her business. She's an 11-star combined, and she's in the top 10 Latina for 2015. So I invited Audrey because of there are two things that I definitely love about her. I had a call with her one time. I asked her some very personal questions, about me, about how I feel. A couple of people have told me that they remind me a lot of her. So I was like, then I need to speak to her. Maybe somebody can understand me. Apparently she's a Ruby Emerald. No, I'm a Ruby Emerald. Apparently you're a Ruby. And I just said, you know what? I want to speak to another Ruby. I need to speak to somebody that can understand me and just call me out. And she was very nice to just tell me, Mel, then this is what you're doing wrong. So she basically took the gems and put it to light, which if those that truly do know me, I need things in front of me. That's how I function. So she was able to do that for me. So thank you, Audrey, for doing that, and super grateful. And so I invited her on this call because, like I mentioned earlier, we're a recruiting blitz. And she has two things that I personally think we can definitely learn a lot from. One is recruiting. She can recruit. She knows how to speak the gems and the personalities, but she also has a lot of confidence. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Audrey.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me on a call. It's truly an honor. I think Melanie's incredible. So if Melanie is incredible, that means the team is incredible. So she asked me to come in here and speak about inviting with confidence. And I thought about that for a little bit. And then I took some creative license to kind of bring the topic down a little bit. Because I had a conversation with a coach on my team the other day. She's actually one of my top producers She's a Ruby. She doesn't want to admit she's a Ruby because she likes to think she's a pearl, but she's no pearl. Because she says to me, like, I can't figure out how you do it. Because she's like, I could look at other coaches and I know that they have like this formula that I can figure out. I can't figure out how you do it. And then I started thinking, I'm like, because a part of me was a little offended. Like, what do you mean you can't figure out how I do it? But then another part of me started thinking like, well, I really don't have a secret. If I have a secret, it would be this. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Can you all see that well? Okay. So I want to talk to you guys about building confidence through the 4 vital behaviors. Because here's the thing. This secret that I have, the way I've been able to build my business to where it is now, it's simply by mastering the 4 vital behaviors. And Melanie tells me that you guys are on a recruiting blitz. But here's the thing. You're going to be a great recruiter when all of your 4 vital behaviors are in line, when they're all working together, because that's really the beauty of it. Like, you guys can't focus on that inviting if you don't have everything else in place, if you're not great at everything else. And to build a great business, you have to be great at these behaviors. So that's my secret. That's how I've been able to get to where I am. Now, if you guys went to La Cumbre at Summit, I spoke about building confidence over there. And what I attribute building confidence through, because I know that sometimes you might struggle with the 4 vital behaviors when you don't believe in yourself. And that comes across in your inviting, that comes across in even whether you decide to do your workout for the day or not, in whether you do your personal development or not, whether you decide to recognize other people or not, your confidence is affected. So you build confidence by 1, acquiring the necessary skills you need to build your business, and 2, putting the necessary skills to work. So being on this team call tonight, that's acquiring the skills. Tuning into the National Wake Up Call is acquiring the skills. All the trainings that Melanie has you in, that's acquiring the skills. So some people aren't just better coaches than others. What they are people that have applied their skills. And then over time, they build them, they put them to work. So you gain experience. I am where I am just because I've been consistent with my 4 vital behaviors and I've put them to work. And then when you're consistent over time, then it starts to happen. You start gaining a momentum. Because I like to tell people, I like to tell my team, it's not that you're going to work really hard on this business from Monday to Thursday and then Friday comes along and your kids got sick or, you have family in town and then you stop and you kind of take a break. You can't do that. You have to master the 4 vital behaviors every single day. Now, I know Melanie said there's some new people and it's always great to go over again what the 4 vital behaviors are. But number 1 is invite. Number 2 is be proof that the product works. Number 3 is do your personal development. And 4 is recognition. I guarantee you guys, if you're actually doing these every single day, putting effort into these every single day, giving it 100% every single day, you're going to hit Success Club. You're going to recruit coaches. You're going to build a business that's going to last, that's going to be sustainable. Now let's get into inviting. So when you're a new coach, that means you're warm market. But even though you're a new coach and you have all these families and, we're Latinos, most of us here. So that means we got 20 billion cousins and all these family to be able to invite. But at the same time, you have to keep building your market because there's going to come a day where you're going to look through your Instagram, you're going to look through your Facebook, and you're going to realize that everyone's either in a challenge group or you already invited them and they said no for now. So even though you're still working on your warm market, build that contact list. Think of this as a business that you just invested like $500,000 into to be able to open. If you spent that much money, you're going to do whatever it takes to make sure people come through those doors. So on whatever social media you're in, no social media is better than another one. If it's Instagram for you, Pinterest, your Facebook like page, even Snapchat, make sure that you actually work it and you build relationships there. My last point there is inviting is about building relationships, I should have put that first. Because when I do a getting started right call with my coaches, I tell them, I don't want you to think of this first vital behavior as invite, invite, invite. I want you to think about it as build relationships, build relationships, build relationships. The way that looks like to me is a technique that I call flirting. So what I do is to be honest with you guys, cold inviting doesn't really work well for me. That's when you invite someone new off the bat. This is what I do. So especially on Instagram, I'll go through and I'll look for people that I ask myself, would I be this person's friend? And what are the characteristics that I look for in a friend? Like usually they're married, they have kids. They're a person of faith because you attract who you are. So I look for people like that based on hashtags on my Instagram. And then I flirt, which is I look through pictures and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Or your kids are so cute. Oh, I have that too. Or where did you buy that? And so we start to build a relationship because I honestly want to be friends with this person. If this person's going to fit into my team or fit into my challenge group, it's someone that I click with. So you start to build that relationship. Now, a lot of coaches think that inviting is posting a call to action and waiting for people to come to you or hit you up on your inbox. That is not inviting. That's advertising. You want to make sure. So if you post a call to action, you want to follow up with the people that like it. You want to follow up with the people that engage with it. But you actually still have to go out every day and build those relationships to find people daily, actively find people. The thing about the 4 vital behaviors is that it's proactive. It involves action. You can't just kind of sit back and wait to see what happens as you timidly put yourself out there. You just have to go. Now, I'm going to challenge you guys because it's scary. And when you're lacking confidence, especially in the beginning, there's people that you're judging. There's people in your head right now, I guarantee that you haven't invited because you're scared of being judged. So I want you to think of those people, write 5 names down, either to the coaching opportunity or to a challenge group, and send them a message saying, hey, I was just thinking about you. How are you? So it's not, hey, I have a challenge group starting, or hey, I'm looking for 5 new coaches for my team. None of that. It's just, how are you? I was thinking about you. I mean, wouldn't you like to hear a message like that from somebody? I would. So make sure that you do that tonight. And I want to hear from Melanie how it went. Now the second one, being a product of the product. Now, I think of the 4 vital behaviors as kind of like a sports game. So there's the offensive and there's the defensive. So offensively, you're going out there and you're building relationships and you're inviting. But defensively, you got to take care of your home, which is when people come to you, come to your social media, do they believe what you say that you're about? That's why it's important to be a product of the product. We have to be in the trenches. And it starts with leading ourselves. In your challenge group, you should be the first one in there posting that you got your workout in, or posting something motivational, or where your mindset is that day on your fitness. And then you have to genuinely care about the people that you bring in to help them get that transformation. And that starts by showing them that you're doing it too. Now, I always talk about this girl named Marlene, that when she started with me, she was 275 pounds. Marlene was in my challenge group, who at that time had some girls that only had like 5 to 10 pounds to lose. Those girls were hardly posting. But Marlene, even if it was midnight, would go into this group and she would post her sweaty selfie every single night. And this girl worked and she went to school. And Marlene caused everyone in the group to get up and do their workout at that time. Because then everyone would be like, well, if Marlene did it, I have to go do it. Because at the end of the day, we don't relate to the people with the 6-pack because somehow we think they were just born with it. We admire people that work hard. So if you're going out there and you're telling people to come check you out, come join my challenge group, you have to walk the walk. They have to go to your social media and see that every day you are doing a workout. And that it's so important. We talk a lot about finishing a program. Not, hey, today I decided to do PIO, tomorrow I'm going to do the 21-day fix, but actually saying P90X. Let's take a classic. P90X. I'm starting it from beginning to end, follow my 90-day journey. Because that says a lot about you as a person being able to commit to something, showing discipline. And that's the kind of person that someone wants to follow. So those people that you're inviting, even if they say no to you right now, they're going to watch you and they want to see you complete that program. I've had people tell me, Leah, I noticed that your thighs are slimming down. And I'm like, really? Like, you don't comment, but then when you decide to, you give me a comment like that you've been watching me. But I never see you like my pictures or inbox me, but you've been watching me. So know that people are watching you, and every day you have to show up and show what you're about. Oh, and one last point is this one about being honest where you are in your journey. Like, I've gained weight in the time that I've been a coach. Talk about that. If you had a bad weekend, if you fell off the wagon, be honest, because that's how you'll relate to other people. We have this thing as coaches that we think we need to be perfect. No, because most people are not. Most people are waiting to connect with someone that they see themselves in. So if you're this perfect person that eats spinach and asparagus and grilled chicken all day, they're going to look at you like you're an alien. I can't do what you do. But if you say, like, I ate half a box of cookies, and instead of continuing it tomorrow, I'm looking for people to kick this habit with me. Are you in? People will relate to that. So don't hide, because this is a very important, vital behavior, because when we gain weight or fall off the wagon, all of a sudden we hide from our business. If you want to talk about building confidence, this is such an important one, because if we know we gained 5 pounds because we fell off, we're not going to invite people with the same enthusiasm. We're just not. We're not going to do the work it takes to build our business because we know we messed up. But if you just face it and say, like, hey, I'm human, it happened, but I'm a coach and I really believe in these products and what they've done for me and what they do for other people, I'm going to get back on the horse. People will respect you. And that's something that you've owned, so that you can be more confident in inviting, because then you can say, like, hey, this happened to me. I know exactly how you feel. I'm looking to get back on track. Are you in with me? So let's take this a step further. I want you guys to go into your challenge groups tonight and share a video about any struggle you have in your fitness or in your nutrition right now, or any insecurity that you have, and talk to your challengers about it, and then tell them why you're committed to seeing it through with them. I promise you that transparency will really resonate with them and help them recommit if they've fallen off a little bit, or you know how it is, like second week of the challenge group, nobody's posting anymore. Because they also feel bad. They look at us and they don't want to disappoint us either. But if they know that we feel the same way, they'll come back and they'll be more honest. Personal development. Oh my gosh, there's not enough I could say about this, because it's the one that I did not want to do. I thought it was for crazy people, because before I became a coach, I saw Shallow Hal that had Tony Robbins in it. And I saw Yes Man, which basically looks like every personal development conference we've been to. If you saw Yes Man, you know what I mean. So I'm like, that's for crazy people. It's for people that can't get their life together. But it's so, so, so important, because our mindset is everything. One of my favorite quotes by Henry Ford is, whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. So if you're not working on your mindset, especially early in the morning, then everything that happens to you throughout the day, you're going to think, oh, this just isn't working. Oh, I can't do this. And I want to be clear. Personal development is both personal and business development. So you need to be very self-aware of where you are right now. If it's that you're lacking confidence, if it's that you're scared of rejection, whatever it is, you have to know that you need to work on that during your PD time. And then there's business development, like Gary Vaynerchuk's jab, 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 right hook. If it's that you're not good at social media, or you need help with your like page, or you need to work on content for your social media, That's different. So for most of us, that's why 15 minutes of PD is just not enough. The more you grow in the business, I know, like, for example, Scotty Hobbs does hours of personal development in a day, because the more you grow, the more you know you need this. And having this in place helps you do everything else. If you're working on your confidence, like, I don't know about you guys, who's listened to Grant Cardone's 10X rule? Yeah. When you listen to Grant Cardone, you just want to, like, get out of your skin flying and go just demolish stuff. That's the way I feel. So imagine if you always listen to something like that in the morning, it's just going to give you the power and the energy to go out and do the other 4 vital behaviors. That's how you need to approach your day with your personal development and your business development. And you know, guys, like, I'm a mom. I don't really have that much time with books. So I do carve out time to actually read because I learn better that way. But you can think of podcasts and audiobooks as kind of like, you know how they say you're the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with? If you're constantly listening to personal development, all of a sudden those conversations become part of your mindset. It becomes part of those people around you that influence you, especially if you're listening to it when you're driving, listening to it while you're doing housework. It all just becomes part of your consciousness. And it's a way to be able to get more personal development in. Now, let's take personal development a step further. So you're going to make this part of your journey. You should be sharing what you're learning through personal development and get personal. A lot of us are scared to be vulnerable, but when you open up, share your story, and show that vulnerability, people will connect. So think about a way in which a way in which personal development has helped you in your life in a specific situation that you don't really want to share because you were kind of worried about putting it out there. I want you to put it out there. And I want you to talk about how personal development has helped you overcome that, or how it is helping you overcome it. Now, recognition. Recognition, I remember, guys, when I started out as a coach during that time, Beachbody awarded a free Success Club trip to whoever was the top challenge pack earner for the month. I won that. And I remember my first thought is, this can't be real because they're already paying me for this, selling these challenge packs. And now they're going to give me a free trip. And I thought to myself, like, I have never worked for a company that showed me this much appreciation. How is this even possible? And when you validate someone, when you show someone that you appreciate them, they work so much harder for you when that happens. So this vital behavior is really reinforcing what you want to see grow. So I want you to validate everyone and anyone who is trying, who is showing effort. And we have the things like Success Club, top producer, top recruiter, all of that stuff. And all that stuff is great. It's what we normally recognize. But what are the scary things? When you just started as a coach, think about the scary things that you put out there. Like the first time that maybe you posted a before picture on social media. That was scary, right? Validate your challengers or your coaches that are doing that. Or the first time you told your story, that was scary. Validate. Those non-scale victories for our challengers, those are huge too. You want to recognize people for their efforts, because when you do that, their self-esteem is going to grow and they're going to do a lot more of that, which in turn helps your business. Now, if we take this further, I want you guys to recognize someone on your wall tonight, a coach or a challenger, or recognize a non-Beachbody customer for adding value in your life. So I work with Kim Carver, and we love him. He's amazing. And he has something that he calls controlling the controllable, which is basically, we tend to drive ourselves crazy about things that we can't control. Like whether or not our coaches tune in, whether or not this person decides to buy this challenge pack or not, or even respond to our messages. Now, confidence can also come from this, knowing that you controlled your day and that at the end of the day, You know in your heart that you did the best you could. Now, here are some things that I look at when it comes to winning the day. And this list is really personal. I want you guys to think about your business and 5 things that you can control every single day that's going to help you feel like, okay, I've got this business under control. I can't control that, but I can control this, and I feel good about it. Some examples of things is like making sure you send out 5 invites and do 5 follow-ups, checking into your challenge groups and checking into the business page, connecting with one new challenge every day, one new coach every day, just to check in on them, adding 5 new contacts, or planning out your social media posts for the day. If you're able to do, let's say, these 5 things every single day, your business is going to grow the next day. Now, Kim tells us that at the end of the day, you miss one of these, you're not going to beat yourself up. You're going to look over your day like a doctor does. And you're going to say, okay, I didn't add 5 new contacts today because I got busy doing this. Now, tomorrow, I'm going to make sure that's the first thing I do. And that's how you control the controllable. So you see, like, you guys are acquiring these skills, and then you're putting them to use. And then the next day you do them again. And the next day you do it again. And what starts to happen? You start to feel secure. Like this team call, I started thinking back to the first times that I was invited to speak on team call. I wanted to die because I'm an introvert. And putting up myself out there scares me. And I remember the very first call I did, I spent the whole day like with palms sweaty. Like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to get through this? I needed to lock myself up in the dark room because I just didn't want to see anybody. Well, it was a phone call. And now being able to speak here to you guys, I'm excited. You know why? Because I've had a lot of calls under my belt already, and I speak with more confidence. Confidence is just experience. When you build yourself up and you're secure in what you're doing and you make sure you practice it, the confidence comes. So it's perfectly normal, you guys, to be scared at first, to be nervous, to question, am I doing this right? But you're never going to know if you are doing it right unless you just go out there and do it. And as you do it, you find your own style and you learn to like your own style. Now, one last piece of advice is to lead yourself. These habits that we create are everything. That's why my secret is really that I've mastered the 4 vital behaviors. And you have to own up to it. Don't make excuses as to why you're not doing certain things, why you couldn't get your workout in, why you didn't do personal development. This business, no one else can build it for you. It's only you. Everyone has, I know it's cliche, but everyone does have the same 24 hours in a day. So ask yourself, like, what are you going to do with them? Are you going to complain because things aren't how you want them to be? Because let me tell you guys, like, I had everything against me when I started. My husband was out of a job. I was working 40 plus hours at a family business, which took me an hour to get there and an hour to come back. I had 2 little boys, 2 and under. I was breastfeeding. I had to be up 5 o'clock in the morning to get to work. After a while, my husband started working at night. So I would come home from work, see him for an hour. He'd go to bed because he would get up at night to leave to work. So I was alone with the kids and still having to do team calls. Craig Holliday says that life doesn't stop so that you can build your Beachbody business. And it's true. And the minute that you take responsibility for where you are and know that everything that you can do is in your hands, and then it's not Melanie's job or nobody else's job to do them for you or show you how to do them, and that you have the same resources as everybody else, that's the moment in which your business is going to grow. Because if it's solely on you, then you can make it happen. And then the last thing is to believe in yourself. Because if you don't, no one else will. Because it's something that everyone senses. Can't put your finger on it, but everyone's going to be able to see you and say, like, that person, there's something about them that seems off if you don't believe in yourself. But when you apply these things and every day you want to progress and get better, then that's going to shine through you. and people will trust you and want to be part of whatever it is that you have. And all that comes from the 4 vital behaviors again. That's how you build confidence. That's how you're able to recruit people that want what you have. Do you guys have any questions?
Everybody's muted, so if you have questions or anything you want to tell Audrey, this is your chance just to go ahead and unmute yourself. Audrey, can you stop the share?
I see. Okay.
There you go. Unmute yourself, and you can go right ahead. Go ahead, Monica.
Hi, Audrey. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Just a quick question, because I was writing so many notes that I got lost. So when you said control the controllable, the 5 things that you can personally control, that's not just the 5 vital behaviors that we normally always hear and we always talk about and live our daily business life by, but it's 5 things that we personally, like, that I personally feel like I can control. Is that correct?
Yes. And that's different for different people. It doesn't have to be just, what I noted, but there's things like, there are things that could be easy for me. For example, I don't like working out. So if I know I can control that workout first thing in the morning, then that's one of my 5. So, all of us I love creating content. So that's not hard for me to do. So that's not really something that I would make as one of my 5s, because I want to do it naturally anyway. So it depends on you, where your business is, and what you feel you need to do daily to make it grow.
And I feel like part of your controllables change based on where you are in business. At least from mine, they have recently changed. So yeah. Anybody else want to say anything to Audrey? I'm trying to see if I can see anybody on mute. No questions. All right, Audrey. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us. And honestly, I've never really seen, I guess I've never really tied the whether it's recruiting or inviting, and how being so consistent with the 4 vital behaviors lead to creating the confidence that you need in the business. I don't think I've ever, I know they're both important. I just don't think I've ever tied them together. So I truly, truly appreciate what you did tonight and just kind of putting a spin on it, because my mind, of course, is super blown right now. And I'm like, oh, I feel like sometimes, and this is me and my coaches know that. That's why I talk a lot with Jalissa, Monica, and Zelly, the leaders. Even tonight, we're having a call about certain leadership stuff. And I'm just like, it's easy for me to just run with things and not really think things through and stuff and complicate them. And you just kind of brought it all super simple. Hey, focus on simple vital behaviors. That's it. And I'm like, oh, really?
It is simple. It doesn't seem like it, because it feels like I got to do this and I got to do this and I got to do this. Honestly, guys, it all builds up from those 4 vital behaviors. It all builds from there.
#guilty. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, ladies. Well, thank you so much for being on tonight's call. This, of course, is recorded for those that couldn't be on the call. So truly appreciate you being here tonight. And I will talk to, somebody said picture. I see it. Okay, Audrey, sorry. Thank you. Go ahead. Got it? All right, awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having me.
All right.
I have one more question. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm so sorry. Literally, this is the last time I took this many notes was when Carlos was on. So Melanie, you know how ecstatic I am right now.
We're going to have a call in the morning.
You had said, you had given us 3 tasks. Recognize someone tonight, even if it's not Beachbody related, which that's something I'm taking along and adding it to something I want to do as a routine, because normally I always recognize challengers or other coaches or whatnot, things like that. You said recognize somebody tonight. You also said post a video on
In
our
your
challenge. You
transcript.
said something before that. It was another task.
What's called your chicken list. So
Oh,
people that you're scared to invite, that you're judging that they're going to say no or they don't need this, 5 people, and send them a text saying, hey, I was just thinking about you. How are you? Non-business related. Genuinely ask them how they're doing.
okay. Thank you.
All right. Well, now, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having on. And ladies, you guys have a good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.